In today's video, I'll be showing you the 3 best ways to farm money while AFK in Blox fruits. I'll also show second C variations of these same methods, so those of you who haven't unlocked the third C can have a chance to farm money as well, which means there are technically 6 AFK money farms in this video. So if you do end up enjoying this video, leave a like and subscribe. But with that out the way, let's get into the first method. So here we are in the second sea, specifically the first island where you spawn. This method isn't all that great, but if you're a low level, this is probably the best you're gonna get. All you need for this is any Logia type Blox fruit, meaning it could be the light fruit, or it could even be something like the smoke fruit, as long as it's a Logia type. Another thing, you'll also have to be over level 775, which I'm guessing almost all of you guys are already. And finally, if your Logia type fruit doesn't have its own M1, like ice or light both have, then you need a fighting style that doesn't push you forward whenever you attack, like Sharkman Karate, or what I'm using, Sanguine Art. Even though I know those of you stuck in the second C won't have access to this fighting style. Anyways, sorry for all the talking. But to actually do this, you'll need an auto clicker, which you saw me set up a few seconds ago. I'll be leaving a link to it in the description below. All you need to do is head to one of the Swan Pirate spawns and turn on the auto clicker with your Logia fruit. This makes it so you can hit them without them being able to do any damage back. Now, there is an alternative to this, which is the chop fruit. Whenever you use chop, you can't be attacked by any sword attacks, meaning you can do this same method with the chop fruit. In the end, with this method, you'll be making around 200k an hour, which isn't entirely too bad for a method accessible to almost everybody and doesn't require you to be pressing anything. For this second method, it's gonna be the same premise. You'll need a Logia and auto clicker and a good fighting style to do this. But instead, we'll be doing this on the Ice Cream Island in the third sea. Why this island, you may ask? Well, it has the highest level enemies that don't use any type of hockey, meaning they are the best to farm when using a Logia fruit. All you need to do is the same as last type. Head up to one of these guys, turn on your auto clicker, and you're good to go. All you need to do is the same as last time. Head up to one of these guys, turn on your auto clicker, and you're good to go. By the way, if you were wondering, no. Auto clickers are not bannable whatsoever, so don't worry about that. Also, I forgot to mention that with the last method, I was using 2 times cash for the numbers I showed. With 2 times cash for this method, you'll be making somewhere around 400k an hour. Sadly, I don't know how much these guys normally give, but if I had to guess, it would probably give you just 100k less than what you would get with 2 times cash. Anyways, we're now moving on to the next method, and for this one, it'll be in the haunted ship. I'll raise the brightness a bit for you guys so it's easier to see. What you're gonna need for this one is Awakened Buddha, specifically its V move. You'll also need Tiny Task, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. Before doing anything, head into the Preferences tab on Tiny Task and turn on Continuous Playback. This will make it so you can keep repeating the same moves we're gonna do without having to press anything. Now, to start this, head into the room to the left. Now to do this, head into this corner and then transform into the Buddha form. Then, bring out Tiny Task and get ready to record. Once you start recording, you're gonna first use the V move on Buddha, then bring out your melee and start punching the air, and you're gonna keep on doing this until these guys spawn back. This is so you can kill any extra enemies who may have gotten stuck or whatever it is. Before you end the recording, press 2 on your keyboard to pull out Buddha, then end the recording once they spawn back. Now, you can press play and it'll repeat everything you just did. I'd recommend not moving your camera like I did, since it'll start getting out of control. Doing this method will make you just over 900k per hour, sometimes even 1,000,000 per hour. This method is easily one of the best in the game, since you can do it very early on and it's very simple to do. The only downside is that getting fully awakened Buddha is pretty tough to do, so let's move on from this method to another one in the third sea. We'll once again be using fully awakened Buddha along with Tiny Task, but this time we'll be doing it at the Cake Island. Now to do this, head over to the middle of where the cookie crafters spawn. Transform into a Buddha, then bring out Tiny Task. Then, press record, and immediately use the V move on awakened Buddha. After this, bring out your melee and start punching until everybody spawns again. This is exactly the same as the last method, but on a different island. Once again, make sure not to move you or your camera, or this will mess up. In the end, this very simple yet effective method can make you up to 2.5 million per hour, which is pretty insane. The only downsides for this one is that, like last time, awakened Buddha is pretty hard to get. And this method isn't as smooth as the last one, meaning there are times where you may get hit, or you may end up in a completely different spot, or on some cases, you can die. Now these rarely ever happen, but I still wanted to let you guys know. Anyways, let's move on to the next money farm. We'll be heading back into the haunted ship, so once again, I'll turn up the brightness. Now this one is for those of you who don't have the time to fully awaken Buddha, and just to let you guys know, this will not make more money than the Buddha method I showed in the same place. So, for this one, we'll be using Quake. I'm using the awakened version, but I think it works the same unawakened. We will once again be using Tiny Task. To do this, start recording with Tiny Task and use the V move on Quake. Then, that's all you need to do. Wait until the cooldown is over for Quake's V move, and then end the recording. Quake's V move is great for farming a ton of enemies at once, since it creates these giant waves that affect a huge area. The downside to this move is that it doesn't do a ton of damage, and it has a long cooldown, which is why it won't be able to make more money per hour, as the method I showed you before. Now once the cooldown is done, end the recording, then press play. You should do the V move every time the cooldown is done, without having to press anything. In the end, killing everyone in the haunted ship using the V move will take around 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which means you'll make about 700k from doing this every hour. Once again, not bad, but not nearly as good as the next method I'll be showing you. And real quick, here's all the money you get from it, so you know I'm telling the truth. And by the way, I know I've said this before, but I just want to say it again. All of these numbers are with 2x money on, so you may be getting less. I'll try to get through this one quickly, since I know the video's pushing 9 minutes long, and I'm not trying to have an extremely long video. Once again, you'll need Quake, but this time, it has to be the awakened version, since we will need the Ship Quake move. And I just wanted to say, this method was founded by another YouTuber. It's the Noobish, so thanks to him for this. Now, to do this, you'll have to head to the third sea, specifically the Cake Island, where all good things go down. Now, head to this exact location behind the main portal where you would enter the other dimension. Now, open up Tiny Task and start recording. Use the Ship Quake move, and just like last time, don't stop recording until the cooldown is fully over. This makes it so you're able to use the Ship Quake move every time it's ready without pressing a button. I'll speed this part up for you, since it takes around 3 minutes in total to kill everybody here. But in the end, you'll be making $50,000 from this, which may not seem like a lot at first. But when you realize that's pretty much 1 million cash per hour, then it becomes a lot. It's much more than every other method in this video. But, yeah, that's all 6 AFK money farms I have for this video. I really do hope there was something in this video for everybody, because that's what I tried to do. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as it would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, see ya.